Right, cool. So after buying the tracks, it's time to process it. And when I mean by process, we're just gonna add some extra cues and just play with the volume and all that kind of thing, just to make it compatible for our setting here in Bridge Church. So look for the files that you're gonna be doing. For this instance, I'm gonna be using Forever by Karajo for just to show you how we do it here. Now, after you get the file, just open it, double click on it, and open the .als file, which I've already done beforehand. And if you open it for first time, it's going to need to buffer the samples, which you will see at the bottom left corner here. That could take from anywhere from a minute to 10-15 minutes, depending on your computer and the amount of stems it's got in the multi-track. So this is already done. Now it's going to look a bit overwhelming at first because there's just so many things in all different colors, but don't worry, it's not too bad. Basically, what all these things are all the stems that makes up the song. So, I mean, if you didn't know, there were actually 5 key parts in this particular song and 3 electric guitars. So EG means electric. And obviously there's a bass and drums and all of that makes up this whole track. And we can listen to it now just to give you a bit of an idea.
1, 2.
So just hit spacebar and you can hear it.
2, 3, 4.
Cool. So first things first, let's just save this properly. Okay, so go to File and look for Save Live Set As. And we're going to save it under Process Tracks. As you can see, these are all the tracks that I've done in the past. So there should be a format of how we name the projects, alright? So start with the song title, Forever, space, dash, space, and put your initials in there, just so that we know who did the track, and if there's any questions or anything, we can ask that person. Tempo of this song, which is 72 BPM. And you can see it on the top left here. The key, which is in G major, you can see the top bit here as well. And save. So now that's saved. Okay, so we're going to warp the track. Warping the track will enable us to change the tempo of the song if we want to increase it or slow it down, and change the keys, which we do it quite frequently. So look for the last track of the song, which is, for this instance, is the BGVS or background vocals. Hold shift on your keyboard. Move your mouse up to the top track, which is click track for this instance. Click on it. And then while still holding shift on your keyboard, double click on your mouse pad, and it'll bring up this window here at the bottom. And to know if you've already selected properly, you'll see 21 clips here, which will match 21, right? That's the last track here. And all you have to do is just hit warp. Okay, so like I said, warping helps with changing tempos and changing keys, okay? So that's done. Close that window down. Next thing is, let's open our browser window on the left. Move your mouse to click track, right click, and insert MIDI track. Okay. Look for the, under Ableton, look for Advanced Ableton Templates, expand that, and expand Empty Advanced Arrangement View. Now, we process all our tracks through Arrangement View, which is this view that you see here at the moment. Expand that as well. We're going to drag in the click. And this song's in 4/4, and I know that because on the top left here it says 4/4. If it's a 6/8, obviously look for a 6/8, or if it's not there, a 3/4. Okay. Just drag that in, click, hold it, and click and drag it in. Now, because this is under 100 BPM, we want our 8th in the click. So I'll just push it all the way to 6 on the 4th, all the way to 6 as well, and accent 6. So the first 3 should be 6 dB. Everything else is fine, just leave it as that. Hover your mouse over click on the stem, right click, and add in insert audio track. In the browser on the left, you can just collapse that. And then look for tempo track project, expand that, tempo track.als, expand that as well. to audio to expand that tempo. Just drag it in. Once you brought tempo in, hold shift on your keyboard and select the click as well. And you see this thing here, just sort of like that. You can expand it. So you just drag your mouse to the right. While dragging, use your left hand to hit the minus key on the keyboard so that it just brings it down. Just keep dragging all the way into the end where it sort of matches all the ending stem. Now if it's too much, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We can adjust it later. Let's close that. So just bring this tempo up. I'll always bring it up to the top. Let's just rename it. So Command R, tempo, and click on the stem itself and you rename it to the song, which is Forever in 72 BPM. Enter. Okay, double click, bring the window up again. Now this is where this is going to determine the tempo. So under segment BPM, click on it once and hit 70, type in 72 and hit enter. And then you need to toggle this button slave. So hit slave, it becomes master, toggle it back to slave, and toggle it to master now. So make sure master is on. The reason being is, this is the master track and everything else underneath is a slave to the master. So if you change the tempo to the master, it changes accordingly as well. So let's just play from chorus in the original tempo so you can hear the difference. Okay, now for whatever reason, if your worship leader decides to, hey, let's just change it to 90. Click on the segment BPM, or just make sure you highlight it. You highlight the tempo, double click. So click once on the segment BPM, change it to 90, hit enter on your keyboard. Now toggle it back to slave and toggle it back to master, just to reset it. Now from the same point again, we play chorus. You hear the difference now, and you can see the top left, it's changed to 90. Obviously very weird, which you wouldn't do that, but you know, if you ever want to change 1 or 2 BPM down, which is fine. So for instance, we actually want to change it to 70, which is not too bad. So click on the segment BPM, hit 70 on your keyboard, enter, toggle it back to make sure it's on master. So we'll play back from chorus, that same part again, and you can see here's 70 now. Yeah, which is fine. But we'll change it back to the original, which is 72. Hit enter, toggle it. There you go. So that's how you change tempo on the track. So let me just delete this click track because we don't need that at all. Alright, so we've got that in. Under click track, I'm just going to add in insert audio track again. Now I'll explain this a little bit later, but I'm just going to copy from the tempo one. Command C, and under the stem at the front, I'm just going to Command V to paste it. I'll just leave it there first for now, or just unarm this on the click. Great. So I'll rename this first. So Command R, locators. Cool. So the next thing I want to do is actually change the guide, okay, to how we usually do them here in Neuma Church. Just sort of expand it a little bit more. I'm going to right click anywhere here and I'm going to put quarter. So let's just listen.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Right. Expand that on the left. Go to guide cues and look for the American female default. You should have this there. Now I'm just looking at the wavelength here. It looks really small. So what that usually signifies is it's not a very loud volume cue. I'm just going to drag in some. I'm just going to delete this bit, highlight that, and hit delete on my keyboard. I'm just going to drag in this one, and you can see the wavelength is much bigger. So that's going to be much louder as well. It's going to be more consistent with what we've been using for all the other tracks. So I'm going to delete everything that's here, which I don't need. And I'm going to start afresh. So I'm going to start 1 here, track number 2. And this is our normal convention of doing things in Bridge. So there's don't forget, just remember there's 4 beats to a measure. So you can see measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, or bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. And there's 4 beats because this is in a 4/4 time signature. So just hit play on your space bar.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I know intro is coming up. So I'll look for intro or repeat intro, right? And I'll do it 2 measures before the next segment, which is intro. I'm going to copy that, and we always do a 1, 2, 3, 4 on the last measure. Copy that and Control V, paste that in. So you can listen from here.
Repeat intro. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I know the next one's coming first. So just paste the 1, 2, 3, 4. Drag the verse in.
Verse. 1,
Cool.
2, 3, 4.
And I know intro's coming up because the locators here say so. So just go drag intro in.
Intro. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you can hear the band come in. I'm just going to add a band in, which is under Ciel's vocal guide, which I've got a band in. I'm going to put in that on the 3rd beat of the 2nd measure before, so you can hear it like that.
Intro.
Band in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So the next one is coming up, it's verse.
Verse. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the next section is pre-chorus, so look for pre-chorus and just drag the wave file in. Gonna sort of skip and hit go ahead.
Pre-chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it sounds like it's building, so I'm just going to add in a build cue in there. So just on the 3rd beat again, so see how it sounds like.
Pre-chorus. Build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So next section, as you can see, it's coming up as chorus. Alright, so that section is a building section. I'm going to use the cues that we use a lot here. It's called double build, which is this one here. I'll just put it here because it's going to build from this bit onwards. So I'm just going to go build, double build, 3, 4. So this is 3, this is 4, which I just copied. So just highlight that, Command C, and then Command V. So let's see how it sounds like from here.
Double build.
3, 4.
So chorus is coming up, and I think it's full band, so I'm going to go all in.
1, 2, 3. Chorus. All in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So next section is coming up, it's pre-chorus. Just going to drag in pre-chorus, and I know it's going to be like in a building kind of format, so I'll just go continue to build.
Pre-chorus. Continue to build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And same thing, I know it's going to be a double build there, so I'm just going to copy what I've put in previously. So it'll be on this measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth measure in the pre-chorus. And I know it's going to go into a big chorus again. Same thing, I'm going to copy that before that, which is chorus all in 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how it sounds.
Pre-chorus. Continue to build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Double build.
3, 4. Chorus. All in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So looks like another chorus is coming up, so we can use a repeat chorus slow.
Repeat chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's strange, it sort of goes into instrumental. We'll see what the next one
1,
is going to be.
2, 3, 4.
Alright, so it's actually an instrumental. So the locator here is wrong. It's good that we checked. So let's go to instrumental. And because it's a guitar solo, let's just put a guitar.
Guitar in.
No, that's not the one. We'll see what if we've got one here. There you go. See, it sounds like.
Instrumental.
Guitar solo.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm just gonna rename that to what it's meant to be. Since it's an instrumental. Guitar solo.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Alright, so that's a breakdown. So I would bring a breakdown in there. So breakdown. And I'll put band out as well. So let's see that.
Breakdown.
Band out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So maybe that would be called instrumental breakdown. We can delete this one, we don't need another one. So the next one is bridge. Stack group.
Bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right. So we're going to repeat bridge.
Repeat bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So maybe I'll put slowly build since the bands come in.
Repeat bridge. Slowly build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Delete the excess one. So next time we're going to do another bridge again. Which is probably a build one.
Repeat bridge. Build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, maybe it's a double build. No, I think build is fine. Then we'll put a double build here. Right, so there's a double bar there before we go to a chorus. So we'll do a double bar somewhere here. Because that's going to go into a chorus. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be a chorus all in. So we can do a double build there. Just copy the 3 and 4. Right, let's see how this segment sounds like.
Repeat bridge. Build. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Double build.
3, 4.
Go for double bars.
Chorus. All in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, sounds good to me. Continue on. So the next section is chorus.
Repeat chorus.
Put another all in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I know the big ending's coming up, so I've got a big ending coming in there.
Big ending. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, cool. So I'm happy with the cues. Well, yeah, you can just try to make it the same. Yeah, cool. So they're the same now. I'm going to consolidate to make it as one. Right, so what you do is select the first one, scroll all the way to the right, hold shift on your keyboard, and just hit there so that it selects that bit. So you're just consolidating this particular stem to make it into one long file. Okay, currently it's all separate files. So hit Command J on your keyboard, or just right click and see consolidate. And again, depending on your computer and what it's doing, it can take a while to consolidate, or it can be done very, very quickly. Right, cool. So I'm happy with that. I'm just going to rename it to guide. And now I'm just going to choose a nice color just so that everything is nice and neat. So I'll just Command A anywhere, Command A, select everything, right click or 2-finger click and just choose a nice color, maybe this one. And then from on the side as well, from tempo, scroll all the way down, hold shift on your keyboard to the last one, BGVS. It's all selected. 2-finger click or right click and choose the same color that you've done, which is this one. Now it looks a bit, I guess, more uniform that way. Alright, I'm going to group drums all the way, the first instrument or the first musical stem, and select all the way down to BGVS, the last one. Command G or right click to group tracks. So now that's grouped into one. I'm just going to rename this group to Forever. Okay. So it's looking pretty good now. Now locators, it's important because when you start building the set, these locators will not automatically be imported into the set building, which it's important to know where you are in the song. So in order to help with that, we're just going to put a dummy file stem there, which has got no audio data or anything like that. So it won't play anything, but it's just for you to see where you are when you don't have locators during the set. So I'm just going to rename this one to count in. Just copy that Command C and hit right arrow and just Command V. Just drag that, expand that. So just so that this section is called intro. Command C. I'll just put intro 2. Command that. And this segment here, or this section, is verse. You can put verse 1 or verse, just up to you. Intro again is verse 2. Command R to rename, so verse 2, space, hit enter. Next one's pre-chorus. I'm just going to do this quickly just so that saves us a bit of time. Just drag that through. Next one's chorus. Next one is instrumental. So basically just copy whatever the top locator is telling you. Next one's instrumental breakdown. Next one's bridge 1. Next one's bridge 2 build. Next one's bridge 3 double build. Let's go just the extra one. I'm gonna remove this vamp because I don't need it anymore. The next one is chorus. We'll say big. And then chorus repeat big. Next one is ending. Again, just drag it to the same. Ending. Just delete this arrow one. Right click, delete. Cool. Locators, I usually put them in white. So just all the way there, hit shift on your keyboard, select the last one, right click, hit white. Cool. So we're almost there. This is what the format looks like for us. I'll rename the first locator to forever. In this point, it's a good thing to just save it. Save live set as or Command S. And we're almost there. Now, we just have to decide what we want in the track, okay? So obviously we don't really want drums. I'm just gonna select drums, hold shift on my keyboard, and right arrow key to expand that. You can see all the individual stems expanded. Usually we don't have drums, so I'm just gonna mute that straight away. Bass, we don't need that as well. Okay, I'm gonna mute click so that I can see what the master volume's like. I'm just gonna expand the master volume, delete this A return and B return. We don't need that. Okay, I'm gonna start from intro and see what it's happening. And what I'm looking for is the volume of the track. So usually I like to
Repeat
go up to
intro.
3/4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I'll see what stems are playing. So the first, obviously,
Verse.
you can solo and see what it sounds like. So the chances
3, 4.
that would happen is your electric guitarist would play this one. So you may not need to boost it up, or you could actually mute that as well. Let's see, where's the drone coming from? I think it's guitar 3. Yep, that's the one.
Band
I
in.
quite like it
1,
louder. So I'm going to
2,
double click on the stem.
3, 4.
And instead of increasing the volume here, I'm just going to increase the gain, which is this one. I'm just going to put 5. See how it sounds like. And you can
Verse.
see it just got
1,
thicker
2, 3.
and
4.
louder as well. Cool. And as soon as you're done, save again. And save, collect all and save. This is very, very important. Just make sure all is yes in green. Click OK. And you just got to wait till it finish buffering again. You see the bottom left. Alright, so buffering's done. Now you can take your time to make adjustments to the track, but that's essentially how you process a track according to Bridge Church standard. Cool.